Today I went out for food with the kids and Sarah, my wife, and I found myself stealing food off of my 2-year-old's plate. I knew she wasn't going to eat it. You know, she had sausage, beans, and chips, and the sausage was cut up into about 15 pieces. I had finished my gammon steak and chips, and I'm staring at those sausages getting colder and colder, thinking she ain't going to eat all of them. So I did what every dad, I believe, does, and I nabbed a few of them. Then I never thought I would be here. Like, I just thought about my older self, my younger self, I should say. Like, what would 10-year-old me think about 32-year-old me? So, yeah, that's the idea of today's episode. That's the big question, I guess. If my younger self could see me now, a dad, a husband, working full time all around the country, would I be proud, confused? Well, I think I'd be proud. Definitely a bit confused. But let's dive into what I thought I would do being an adult. When I was a kid, I can't really think about. Trying to think what my dreams were. Obviously, the obvious one is everyone wanted to be a footballer or a movie star. I did think I would be doing something acting related, but at the same time, I never did drama or anything like that in school. I just kind of thought, oh, one day it will happen. One day I'll do some sort of acting, and I'll be a big movie star. That's what I think my dream would be. Would be an actor or a stand-up comedian or a comedy film actor, because I idolized Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey was the number one for me actor who, no matter how many times I watched his films, always made me laugh. Lee Evans was my favorite, probably still is my favorite stand-up comedian. It's just genius for when he was doing that style. I think there's so many comedians now which have taken his style and adapted to it. So yeah, I just never put myself out there. I didn't have the dreams to be an astronaut and stuff like that. It's a bit of a weird one, I think. Why is that like a thing that kids want to be, going into space? It's terrifying. And relentless as well. It's not like you can just have a day off. You're in space. So, yeah, I think my dreams were I'd do something in entertaining, something fun, funny, comedic. And I didn't do that. But I am trying to do a podcast, so I guess that dream is still laying somewhere deep within me of doing something entertaining or, yeah, funny, hopefully, one day. But we'll see. I did love football. I was not good enough to make it as a semi-pro or anything like that. So I never had the dream. I never ever thought, oh, I'm going to be... I didn't have confidence in myself. So I didn't ever believe that I would go far with football. So that wasn't a dream for me. My dad was always working, building the company that I work for now, the old Silver Spoon. But I recognise the spoon, but I work very, very hard to maintain the spoon. My dad offered me the job. I didn't have to go through the whole job interview phase and stuff like that. I had a job, but it's not like he said, "Come work for me. We're wealthy and all this." It's, if you're going to work with me, you better be prepared to work your ass off. So I believe that that's where I am now, and I know he could have sacked me a long time ago for when I was a bit immature. But I've grown up now, now, especially now I've had kids as well, something just snapped. And I'm really proud of my work now. I'll dive into what I do for work, because I don't think I've actually explained that on the podcast yet. So I work with radon gas. If you haven't heard of what radon gas is, it's a naturally occurring radioactive gas that comes from up to 5 miles down the Earth's crust, and it's from the decay of uranium in all rocks and soils. It stores in rocks like granite and limestone and everything, but it mainly stores in granite more so than others. So a lot of people think that radon is only in granite areas. It's not the case. It's just higher. The higher chances of having radon is in those granite areas, like Devon and Cornwall, in the Midlands, up through Scotland and stuff like that. So that gives us a lot of work around the country, from literally the Orkney Islands up in Scotland down to the Isles of Scilly below Cornwall. Like a couple of weeks ago, actually, I worked with my brother. He was in Orkney Islands, and I was on the St Mary's Island down in the Isles of Scilly on the same day. And we're like, this is wild. Like, we're so fortunate that our job sends us to these crazy places. Like, people spend a lot of money to experience that, and we're there doing work. So it's days like that I can stop and reflect and go, no, I'm actually very lucky to say that this is work, because that particular day was just walking around an island and exploring it, and I can barely call that work. So that's like a good day. Other days, digging holes, core drilling, doing pipe work, mounting fans on walls, up tower scaffolding, all that sort of thing. We work domestically and commercially. Some incredible places. I can't go into it because we've had to have like vetting processes done, background checks and all that stuff for these top secure buildings and stuff. So I can't say where I've been, but I wish I could, because there's some cool stories there. So I think the fact that my dad worked all of the time to build this company up, and now I've got kids and I'm working all the time to try and further the business, and we're still building the company up. I guess I looked up to my dad. I still do. I respect him more than anybody I know. He still works as hard as he possibly can, and he's 72 this year. And it's the respect I have for my dad is just next level. So I was always proud of him. So if I was to be my 10-year-old self looking at me now, I guess that means I would be proud of me, because I'm working 60, 70 hours a week. The flip side of that, I'm not proud of the lack of time I have at home. And I've spoken about this in another episode. So I'm not going to deep dive into that now. But I would be proud. A bit confused as well. I would be confused. Be going, where's this acting gig? Why are you still digging holes? I thought that this was just going to be a temporary thing, and you've been working for 15 years now. I'm proud of what I think my 10-year-old self would be proud of is I have a close net of friends, and it's weird though, because there's like 3, 4, maybe even 5 different groups of friendship groups, and I'm good friends with like a select few from each group. Back in school, that's how it was. So now I've got these friends that we don't see each other all the time, but I'm in these different friendship groups, and I'm very lucky to be able to say that I'm still friends with a lot of guys I went to school with, and I know that social media helps, group chats help, and stuff like that. Like my dad's generation, they went 20, 30 years without speaking to each other because nobody knew where they were in the world, didn't know how to get hold of them, and life just moved on. So it's definitely a better thing now with social media to keep in touch with people that you care about. Um, I wrote a couple of questions in case I got stuck. Like what would my younger self be excited about? I think I'd be excited about the fact I've got kids, and then, as boring as that is to say as an answer, um, I was never like, oh, I really want kids one day and stuff like that. But I was an uncle when I was age 7 to my nephew, and then my first nephew, and then my first niece was born. I think 3 years later. So when I was 10. So at the age of 10, I was an uncle, and I immediately thought the world of them. And I can't think of them so quick, but I got 8. Yeah, 8. I think it's like 4 nephews, 4 nieces. I don't know. It's terrible that I don't know that off the top of my head. But every time one of those was born, I made so much effort. I was always there for, like, I wanted to be the favourite uncle and stuff like that. So at the age of 10, when I'm buzzing about these new additions to our family being there, and I was playing with them all the time and everything like that, I think the fact, if I was 10, looking at myself now, seeing that I've got 2 kids of my own, I'd be like, that's awesome. I've got my own 2 kids. So I think I'd be hyped about that. What I'm personally proud about now, not the 10-year-old self, because I don't think the 10-year-old me would understand or care. But this year, it's now the 3rd of May, and I haven't drank. I haven't got drunk since October last year, and that's partially down to how much working I've been doing. But we did have the Christmas break. I just didn't want it. I didn't crave it, and I think it's because, well, I know it's because last time I got pretty drunk, my hangover stayed with me. It wasn't just a day hangover anymore. This affects me for months. I have anxiety. I have these awful thoughts in my head. And this year, I haven't had any of that. And I'm putting that down to not drinking. And I'm not going to do that forever. I will have a drink again, But now that 0% alcohol is huge, like on the market, now there's like so many different options. I'm not missing like actual alcohol. Like today, we went to our friends with the kids and all that, and then I had 2 non-alcoholic beers, and like it was nice because the sun was out and it was a nice thing. But after those 2, I was like, oh, give me a Lucasade, give me an orange juice, give me a water. But yeah, after those 2 beers, I was like, I'm done. Give me a soda or something. So I'm not missing it, and so that's something I'm actually very proud of, because when I was coming of age, like 18 through 21, 25 was really like a lot of drinking. I was going for 24, going for a single stage in my life where I was going out drinking a lot because that's how you meet people. But I was drinking. I didn't have a problem. It wasn't that deep. But if I went out, I was excited about getting drunk. I can't wait for the weekend, getting drunk on the weekend. I was more excited about that idea than, I'm going out, I'm excited, I'm going to see my mates, I'm going to see my friends, we're going to do something fun. It was, I can't wait to get slaughtered on the weekend. So I think that mindset is extremely unhealthy. And that was my mindset for 10 years plus. And then something just went, you know what, just stop. Just stop doing that to yourself. So if the 10-year-old self, my 10-year-old self understood that, he'd be proud. But yeah, my priorities since becoming a dad have changed drastically, incredibly, and not overnight. just whilst I was just talking about the whole drinking thing, I couldn't wait. At one point, it wasn't I couldn't wait, but at one point I was like buzzing to get a babysitter, get my mum to look after the kids so we could go out with our friends, and I'd be buying some drinks, and I just wanted to let loose and get a bit drunk and get a taxi home, and that slowly turned into we're going to go and socialise, because that is important, socialising with your friends, obviously. But I'm going to drive. And I'm going to drink Cokes tonight. Or I'm going to drink non-alcoholic. And you get a bit of crap from your mates. Like, why are you drinking that rubbish for? And to start with, I was a bit embarrassed about taking 0% round. And then I'm like, why do you care about what I'm drinking? If you're not having a fun time because I'm not drunk, that's on you. Like, I'm having a good time. Don't worry about what I'm drinking. You just do you. So my priorities have changed, because what started the whole turn of I'm going to drive, I'm not going to get drunk and all that, because tomorrow morning my kids don't know that it's a Sunday. They don't know that I need to lie in until 1 p.m. minimum, because I got a blasting headache. They're still coming in at 7 a.m, 7:30 for a cuddle, waking me up. So the priorities changed. I'll drive home, because actually I don't want to sleep and feel horrendous all through my Sunday. I want to feel good. I want to wake up. I want to have a good night on the Saturday with my friends, wake up on the Sunday morning and have a great day with my kids, because Monday I'm back to work 60, 70 hours a week again. So that's just one example of priorities changing. But yeah, that's what this podcast is about, though. Just whatever's in your head, no planning, just say it as it is. And there's probably some circles I've spoken and things I've missed. But yeah, I just want it to be real, and this is what's coming out of my head. Let's move on to this then. So if there was some life lessons I could give my 10-year-old self, and if you're a young person listening to this, then feel free to take these on board. Some of the lessons I would share, some of the things I would share with my younger self would be, first of all, don't stress so much. I've never been like a big worrier. I've always been pretty laid back, but there's definitely been times where I've been way too stressed for how, like, the level of stress I should have been. I was way too above, and I had a big problem. Sunday night anxiety is what I called it. Knowing I had work on the Monday morning, I still get it now, to be honest. I will go to bed. I go to bed at like 9:30, 10. I wouldn't, that's a complete lie. I go to bed at about 10:30, 11. And if I know I've got a big job on the Monday, or I've got a long drive and I've got to leave at 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, I will not be able to fall asleep. There's no way I will fall asleep. No matter what I try, I'll lie there and all of a sudden it's 1:30 in the morning. It's 2:30 in the morning. It's 3:30 in the morning. And I go, if I fall asleep now, I'm going to oversleep. And okay, I guess we're doing an all-nighter. And I hate it. I hate it so much. I'd be interested to know, actually, is like if any of you listening have ever felt like this as well. Have you ever done that? Have you ever had you've got a big day tomorrow, got to have an early night, but your mind is going, nope, you ain't sleeping because we are terrified. That is literally what it is, isn't it? Literally, anxiety is just being afraid. That's how I would explain the feelings I get. Anyway, the other thing, there's a big one, is you don't have to have it all figured out by the age 25. That's an age that I'm going to say because I had no idea. No idea. At 24, I just ended a 6-year relationship, a relationship that I wasn't happy in for a long time. And eventually it all came to a head and I finished it. And because I thought, I cannot feel like this. I cannot feel this unhappy going into age 25 because I should know what I'm doing by now. I should be happy. But it was the biggest decision I ever made and the best one, because I wouldn't be sat here today with my 2 kids and my wife if I didn't make that decision. And that was in one side of my brain. I'm there thinking, well, this is what life is. This is it now. You're in a relationship. You moved in together. You're about to be 25. Proposals and kids coming soon. And I didn't want it. I didn't want any of that. And when me and Sarah actually met, both of us said, I don't want to get married and I don't want kids. 6 months later, we got married. And a year and a half after that, we had Henry. So you think you've got things figured out, but you haven't. And so the reason I'm saying don't have it figured out by 25 is because my life changed drastically after the age of 25. So I'm pretty sure I'm getting this right. That going through like my 24th year and 25th year, all the way up until I'm getting this mixed somehow, but around those ages is when I was single, I was dating, but I thought to be happy, I'm just going to be single because I don't want kids, I don't want marriage, I just had a long relationship and that's not for me. But I got lonely. There was something missing. I was single, I was free, and I was so unhappy. I don't know, but I was telling myself I was happy. It left me with the most strange feeling of, I am so lost. I don't know what I'm doing. I thought I was meant to have it all figured out by now, and I feel like I'm starting all over again. And then a miracle happened. I downloaded TikTok and saw Sarah on there. We got talking, and the rest is history. But from the age of 26 onwards, massively changed. My life massively changed. So don't worry about it. What I'd have said to my 10-year-old self is, have fun all the way up until you're 25. Do whatever you want to do. Travel. Be single. Don't waste years of your life without your mates, like the people that are the most important to you. Go on holidays with them. And then when you're 25, 26, download TikTok and search up Sarah, and you'll be sound. So that's what I would say. Another thing is drink more water. I don't drink enough water. I've got a drink here, and it's not water. It's a Coke. I haven't taken a single sip of it, though, this whole podcast. So just to reflect on everything I've just said, being my 10-year-old self, seeing me now, hopefully I would be happy. I'd be proud. I'm sure of it. I'd go, you've got a house? I didn't even mention that. Like, I have a mortgage. What? Is it like I'm an adult. I'm here. I'm doing a podcast like I'm a kid. I'm not. I'm a dad. I'm an adult. I'm wearing a belt. I have a wife and 2 kids, a beautiful house, a dog, a cat, 3 guinea pigs. So many mouths to feed, but I'm doing it, you know? I'd definitely be confused, though. He'd be going, I'm sorry, you're starting a podcast at 32 years old. Why? Why didn't you do that already? Or nobody wants that. Hopefully he's impressed. He's impressed that I'm still here. I'm doing my best. And now, thanks to this podcast, I'm sharing my thoughts. I'm getting it out there, which means it can't stay in here and turn into negative feelings. It's out there. I'm telling real stories. That's this episode done, I think. Thank you so much for listening. See you in the next one. See you after bedtime.